So the World Series is the big news, and it's been entertaining, and we're here tied at 2 games apiece. The Phillies getting no hit last night, and is it just one game? Is that where, if you're the Phillies, you go, hey, doesn't matter what the score was, how many hits we had, we lost. Or if you're the Astros and you go, we shut them down. Nobody has shut the Phillies down. We did. And now you got Justin Verlander going tonight. But you got this incredible lineup with the Phillies and a combined no-hitter. Here's Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies after the loss.
Just to be part of this end of baseball history, just how does it feel when you realize that this is just the second World Series no-no?
Yeah, I really don't give No, move on to tomorrow. It's cool. We'll be in the history books, I guess.
Christian Javier and 3 relievers deliver the first combined no-hitter in postseason history as the Astros won Game 4. And Javier's the first pitcher in baseball history to start multiple combined no-hitters in a career. He recorded the first 21 outs of the Astros combined no-hitter back on June of this year.
Stat
Sure.
Of the day, stat of the day.
Heck yeah.
Stat of the day, stat of the day. Here comes that
What?
Stat of the day.
He doesn't go past the 6th inning. That's he reminds me, if you're old enough to remember, Sid Fernandez of the Mets. That guy was unhittable for the first 5 or 6 innings. Unhittable, it felt like. He probably took more no-hitters into the 6th inning. Now, he wouldn't finish a game, but he just had that ability to make you miss. But Javier throwing fastballs against a fastball team, do you keep him in? He had 97 pitches. I have no problem taking him out of the game. It's just a different game, different strategy. And I know, here's Dusty Baker. Well, I'll let you hear from Dusty Baker on why he pulled out his pitcher.
No, it's baseball in 2022. I mean, if I was the first guy to do that this year, as I recall, I think Dave Roberts had to do that in L.A., with Kershaw. Especially a young player, you think about his health and his career as much as you think about that game. Like I said, we had a real fresh bullpen, extremely fresh bullpen, and one of the best bullpens around. So, I had full faith that, that they could do the job.
As a fan, I wanted to see him continue. Those days are done. You go into the 7th inning, maybe the 8th inning. Some of these pitching records in the World Series, they're not going to be touched ever again, it feels like, in our lifetime. It's just the difference of analytics, the strategy. There's no gut feeling. And then I wondered, if you left him in, now you got to win the game. And Dusty has never won the World Series as a manager. You got to, how do I manage this game? How do I still factor in the historical part of this? Or does that factor in at all? Which it probably doesn't. You just like, hey, got to take you out. That's it. You're not used to going this far or further. I'm taking you out. I don't know if he's going to pitch again in the World Series. He's their 4th starter, unless it's maybe a relief appearance in Game 7. But if he stayed in and then you lost the game, then what would we be saying about Dusty Baker? I think you have to look at it, and you can't look at what the end result was. In the moment, I understood it. He doesn't go that, certain pitchers have this line of demarcation, and for some reason, they go past it, and then trouble happens. I know your limitations. He's 25. He got in there. He was dominant. He was unbelievable, and you take him out. Do I want the history? Sure. When Roy Halladay was throwing a no-hitter for the Phillies, it was awesome to watch. You wanted to see somebody get the ball and not give it to anybody else. Those days are long gone. Yeah, Paul.
What about the danger of it going the other way? I think Javier in the bottom of the 6th was 3 up, 3 down, 3 ground outs. He was perfect. He was not in any trouble, and then you bring in the closers, the relievers. What if it went the other way in the closers? The relievers start giving it up. And you're like, this guy was throwing a no-hitter, and you pull him?
Yeah.
There's no perfect answer.
I think what Dusty did was the smart approach to this, because you're down 2-1. And this team, the Phillies can get something started quickly. Go to your strengths. I know, and I'm not a big analytics fan, but if you're going to look at this and go, let me be smart here, he did the right thing. We'll talk to Al Leiter. He'll join us coming up here in a couple of minutes. Your phone call is always welcome. Seton, you got a poll question today.
You know who has a couple, Dan? Maybe even thrice.
Fritzy?
Poll questions thrice. Todd Fritz.
What the heck is going on?
What is going on? Must be the M Drive.
Yeah,
I'm
you
all
got your
hyped up.
Astros jersey on.
Combined no-hitter.
Yeah, okay.
Feeling good.
Yeah, all right.
Should we roll these out?
Yeah, let's go, Todd.
Okay. The Astros pitching performance last night was amazing and historic. Over-celebrated. Relax. It was a combined no-hitter. That would be the first one to think about.
Who thinks that it was a big deal last night? Paulie does, Marv does. Okay.
Kind of a big deal. And I'm an Astro fan.
Well,
but
no, it's either a big deal or it's not. You can't do this fence stuff
Well,
you always do.
Since it's only the second time in World Series history that there was a no-hitter, even if it was with other pitchers, that's a big deal.
Okay, well, then that's what the answer was.
But it's not like a huge deal because it wasn't just
Shut
by
up.
one person.
Shut
Right, it's not like a huge. It's not like I remember where I was when that happened. It's not that big of a deal.
I'd hold on to the ticket stub if I was there, but I wouldn't be like, guess what this is? I expect to get $1 million for it. Come on,
Right.
easy.
What, Paulie?
I have a different poll question. It's a very semantic poll question.
Oh.
Was that a no-hitter last night, yes or no? Was that a no-hitter last night?
Yes.
But
Back into
don't
this.
people throw no-hitters? Doesn't a person throw no-hitter? Combined no-hitter is like...
Well, what's the definition say? Does it say that a person has to throw a no-hitter, not collectively we
it's almost
throw
like
a no-hitter?
a triple-double. A triple-double is specific. A no-hitter is done by a single person.
How many hits did the Phillies get yesterday?
None.
No hitter.
Who had the no-hitter?
The Astros,
The Astros.
Can a team have a no-hitter?
did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they can.
But it's very qualified no-hitter.
Yes, it is.
It's not a no-hitter.
Welcome to 2022. Yes, Marv.
Now, I love the combined no-hitter because that means everybody was throwing gas.
Everybody gets to share in it, not just one pitcher.
Team sport.
Yeah, how greedy, how selfish
There's
of
no
you.
eye in baseball.
Yeah, that you want to take the ball and not give it to anybody else. Yes, Todd.
Two things. First of all, the catcher should get more credit than all the combined pitchers. Secondly, I see where Paulie's going with that. The Phillies were no-hit last night. I don't know if a no-hitter was thrown.
Okay, that's
So I think
semantics.
that's what we're talking
Look
about.
at Paulie and Fritzy
Yeah,
online.
Combined.
That's okay. Why
Is there an
not?
eclipse happening
Yeah.
or something?
The Phillies were no-hit. I just don't know if it was a no-hitter.
Well, then we should give credit to the Astros catcher. And
More than the pitchers.
And the Astros catcher is who, Todd?
That would be Alan Ashby.
See? Didn't know, did you? Your team had a combined no-hitter, and you don't know the
The
Astros
name's
catcher.
Maldonado?
You just
Maldonado?
said.
I'm not cheating. Maldonado. I think.
You just said to give him credit,
I know. But
and
it's,
you don't
whoever that
even
guy
know
is.
his name.
it was either Maldonado or Alan Ashby. It's got to be one of those guys.
Try to give him credit, but you don't even know who your catcher is.
Jim Pankovitz. It's one of those guys.
Yes, Paul.
It's like, who's the first man on the moon? Who is the first man on the moon? Neil Armstrong?
Neil Armstrong.
But there's other people in the capsule. They didn't walk on the moon. It's almost like a group can't go to the moon. It has to be a person.
It takes a village, Paulie.
Right. But what about, what is he called? Buzz Aldrin.
What about the guy who did all the mathematics to get it up there? He never left his cubicle in Houston, but still did all the work.
It's like a group can't be the first people to summit Mount Everest. It had to be a person.
Well, they did give that to Sir Edmund Hillary.
BS.
And then the Tenzing, whatever, the
Norgay.
Sherpa, Norgay, he didn't get any credit. He did all the work. He was carrying everything up there.
They were 10 feet away, and Hillary goes, "Hey, look at the view," and ran up there.
put his hand up
Psych.
first.
Psych.
Yeah.
You there, put my stuff down over that way. I'm going to the top.
Make me some tea. I'll be up here making history.
You there, place my belongings over there.
Is that your English?
Yes,
accent?
that's
Oh.
how Sir Edmund Hillary sounded
Yes.
when he summited.
Todd,
It
what?
appears Christian Vasquez is the one that was behind home plate for the historic
okay.
night where the Phillies were
Appears?
no-hit.
It appears.
Wait.
I don't know why I thought it was
he the
Maldonado.
catcher, or you said it appears that
Well,
he
I didn't
was?
cheat or anything, but according to this SI story, it says Astros catcher Christian Vasquez earns an outsized piece of no-hit history. So that must be the guy. That would be a weird title.
You cheated. You
I did.
looked
I
it
looked
up.
it up. I forgot the guy's name. I did. I was going to say Alex Trevino, but I knew it wasn't him.
See, you're trying to deflect here because you're a loser.
Christian Vasquez.
You had to cheat,
I know.
and here we are talking about the Astros.
Bob Nepper and Mike Lacoste, they were part of the whole pitching lesson.
You cheated.
They did.
Yeah. Yeah, Paul.
Real quick, after the game, when they decided who to interview, Fox, they interviewed the catcher, Christian Vasquez. They did not interview any of the pitchers.
And I have no problem with that. He did the catcher when Randy Johnson threw a no-hitter, and he said, "Oh, come on, but you got to have my catcher on." Bobby Hammock. And we had both of them on. He wanted to give them credit.